I get asked questions about my mustache all the time, and so I thought I'd put together a bunch of them into an FAQ type of video for you. Maybe you're wondering the same things, or perhaps you're trying to determine if a mustache would suit you. Let's get to the questions. I started clean shaven about 1 year and 2 months ago, but the length that I keep the longest parts of my mustache is about 6 months worth of growth. Like this. Most days I go with the handlebar style that I've got right now, and it takes me about 3 to 5 minutes to do. If I'm really pressed for time in the morning, then I'll go with a style that's simpler, taking under a minute to do. But I never leave the house au naturel because I think it looks a bit too unruly and that's just not my style. I have a styling tutorial already on YouTube that you can check out, and I'll have it linked to in the description. Maintenance is super simple. It only takes a couple of minutes every 1 to 2 weeks. For the shorter parts in the center, I take any old scissors and just make sure that no hairs are curling down over my lip. For the longer part, I trim it once my mustache is already styled because it gives me a better sense of how my day-to-day style will look. I need to be trimming them all the time to make sure that both sides are an even length and that there are always several hairs at the very tip. If there's less than that, then there's less structural integrity and it just becomes really tedious to style. No, never. Yes and no. If I don't style my mustache at all, then the hairs are going in every direction and some of them can get into my mouth when I'm eating, and that's actually pretty unpleasant. If I do style my mustache, then this is never a problem, although after I eat I always make sure to check in a mirror or using my smartphone camera to make sure that there's nothing left over that shouldn't be there. Blowing my nose with a mustache takes a little bit of getting used to. I have to position the tissue such that nothing goes soaring past it and down into my mustache, which honestly I can't always get 100% of the time. I've luckily only been congested for a few days in the last year, so this hasn't really been an issue, but whenever I do blow my nose I make sure again to check in a mirror or using my smartphone camera to make sure that there's nothing there that shouldn't be. A brief walk through light rain won't really do anything. But anything more than that, and the main product that I use, this Got2b Glued, starts to relax as it absorbs water, and then my mustache also then relaxes and starts to lose its shape. One time I went out to take some photos in really dense fog, and after my 2-hour adventure my mustache had completely fallen apart. Now I might be making this a bit dramatic, this really isn't an issue for me. I just wear an umbrella. Wear an umbrella, use an umbrella. If I were to use a wax-based product rather than this water-soluble one, then I'd remove this issue altogether. But I think overall that there's more advantages to using the water-based product, so that's what I'm sticking with. Everyone asked me why I started to grow my mustache, and the story is that about 1 year ago my grandmother passed away. She was very dear to me, and when I was scanning photos to prepare a display for her funeral, I noticed a bunch of her and her father and other male relatives that all had mustaches like this, and that's actually what inspired me to start one of my own. At first it was just an experiment, but after lots of positive feedback I decided to see how far it could go. For me, it's well worth the effort of styling it, because honestly I'm surprised every day on the sheer volume of people that pass me by and I notice them smiling, and I know it's just because of my mustache. If I can spread good vibes in such an unconventional and simple way, then it's well worth it for me. Yes, definitely. Everyone stares at me everywhere I go. It is unavoidable. Children especially are shameless and they'll do the long stare with wide eyes and a gaping mouth. I've caught adults doing this too, but that's only really when I have sunglasses on and they think I don't notice what they're doing. People I'm with are constantly telling me that everyone around us is staring at me, but I'm just living life and I don't really notice it all the time. The funniest story of someone who did notice my mustache though was this one lady, and she was walking towards me reading some papers, and she looked up, and when she noticed my mustache she was staring so intently that she dropped all of her papers and took several more steps all the while staring before she stopped and realized what she had done. That was great. Yes, lots of people want to touch my mustache, and I don't understand why. Gel any 20 of your own hairs from any part of your body, and it's the exact same thing. I don't get it. Maybe you guys can explain it to me. I don't really mind, as long as people ask first, and most of them do, and it's rarely complete strangers that ask to touch my mustache. No, It's a mustache toupee. Moupee. Of course it's real. I'm just living life, but I'm glad that you know what month it is. I was grabbing a coffee one time and the barista said to me, there are only 10 people in the world that could pull off that mustache, and you're 9 of them. And I thought that was a pretty nice comment. Anyways, that's it for the list of questions that I have prepared for this video. If you have any others that you'd like to ask, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.